Hi, I'm Holly Winterstein, Behavior Curriculum Intervention Specialist with the county, and I'm here to talk to you about potty training and about some of the services the county board offers. We help with behaviors that you might be having at home or in the community. We can make visuals, schedules, different things like that to help with routine. And we help a lot with potty training. So I'm going to go through the folders that I've made for families who might be struggling a little bit with potty training. We talk about potty readiness skills, and we offer a nice toileting CD that you can go through. It has some visuals for you, and it has some things to keep in mind like sensory processing, issues you might be having at home with potty training, how to remain consistent. So that's a nice resource. We also offer a visual for first then. So if your child doesn't want to stop what they're doing, this might help with giving them the visual to say first potty, then play. First potty, then something preferred that they want to do. We also offer this task analysis, which we can go through, talk about pulling down your pants, sitting on the toilet, pull up pants, flush, and wash hands. Just a nice sequence to help them remember and to become independent themselves. In the folder, we also have the top 10 toileting tips. Being consistent, don't go back to diapers, don't use pull-ups while training your child. Set aside the time to focus on toilet conditioning your child. And that brings up a good point. There's a difference between toilet conditioning and being independent. So we have a handout for that too. Take good baseline data. Keep remembering all the additional time and money you will have when you get your child potty trained. Remember, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Remember to be patient, take one day at a time, and don't punish your child if they have an accident. That's really important to remember for potty training. Here's the handout I was talking about too, toilet trained or toilet conditioned. There's a difference. A lot of parents will go through and expect their child to be toilet trained rather than conditioned. We start with conditioned first so that we can teach them the steps and then teach them how to be independent. So it's important to know the difference. This is also a great handout. This talks about how to gain independence. So this is a nice handout to talk about the steps. Dependent without awareness, awareness of being wet or dirty, cooperates in toileting schedule, participates actively with prompts, independent once prompted, initiates when needed, and remains dry and completes toileting independently. So as you can see, there are a lot of steps to potty training, and what the county can come in and do is help with how we're going to shape that child to be more independent, to do some of these things. By using rewards, by using timers. Also, this is a really important handout to go over about making potty training positive. It's easy to get frustrated with potty training, but if we get frustrated, we're not going to make progress. It's important to really make it positive, and there are some great tips in here. So you want to go through this. We've also included answering frequently asked questions about toilet training. Okay, so there are some really great tips in here too about some questions you might have about toilet training. Another important piece to potty training is having good data. So we've included data sheets to be able to set up a sitting routine, to be able to catch them when they're going to be wet, when they're going to be poopy or dirty. So, and you also, one of the really important things for data is to set up a schedule when they're eating, let's go back. To set up a schedule when they're eating, when they're drinking, so that it's set on a routine and they're not just carrying drinks around. It's so hard to potty train a child that has a drink all the time. You don't know when they're going to be wet, or when, if they're eating at different times, then it's harder to get that clear data. So routine-based will help potty training. So it's important to take this data, and the video, the CD included, also goes through that. Another great thing we have that I think parents are really going to like, I didn't talk much about rewards, but it's important for kids who are motivated by rewards to use rewards for potty. So what you can do is you can limit the reward and only use it for potty training and make it very specific. And you can meet them where they're at. So you could reward them for sitting on the potty and use a timer for 30 seconds if that's your goal. And then if they do that, they can attain the goal. So this is nice to maybe give them something each time they're moving, and then they could get a larger reward once they reach the end. Kids love trains, they love this visual, it works well. Oftentimes the county will come in too and use social stories. So this is a cute social story. It's Daniel Tiger, and it goes all through going to the potty. Oftentimes county will come in, we can make laminated social stories, we can include your child's picture and name and personalize it, make it relevant for them. Talk about potty readiness skills. Often just to start out for potty, we will do everything in the bathroom. We'll do everything in the bathroom. We will brush our hair, change our clothes, do any diaper changes in the bathroom, do stand-up changes, put poop in potty, give them that visual, say poop goes in potty, and then flush it. Do lots of labeling, if you're wet, if you're dry, if you're poopy. So all that is very important. Modeling. So if they're not quite there, just ramping up, doing everything in the bathroom, adding social stories, and that consistency is really important. And then the last thing in the folder is our PowerPoint. We have a PowerPoint behind here, but I don't think you guys want to listen to that full video. So we include the PowerPoint, which will include any bumps in the road that you might encounter, any medical factors to consider, ways you might want to get started, pictures of the visual timer, tips on how to be consistent, how to handle accidents, and any resources that might be helpful. Here are some samples. These are not in the folder, but here are some samples of social stories we might make going potty. They can be simple. They can be tailored to your child. If you are working on your child telling you that he has went poop and you want him to come and get you and go into the bathroom before he goes. So every kid is different. Not every kid is just going to sit on the potty and go potty. You have to take them where they're at. Here's another example of a social story we might make. And there are some good books. What do you do with a potty? It hurts when I go poop. Those are very challenging kids to potty train. So if they are having trouble with constipation, I recommend that you talk with their pediatrician or their doctor about how to handle that. Adventures with Big E, helping with hygiene. This is nice too. I mean, this includes potty, but a lot of our kids have trouble with toothbrushing and other things. So these are some of the resources the county has to offer. If you feel you need help, please feel free to ask Megan for some of these folders. She has them in her office. or if you feel you might need help from the county, we have the contact information. You can contact intake, or you can ask Megan about our services. Thanks.